Hi, I'm Renee Rochelle, the founder and president of One True Match. I'm here to help you find and cultivate the love of your life. For over a decade, I've dedicated my life to the importance, purpose, and dynamic of human relationships. My team and I are disciplined by faith, love, and integrity to help our clients find the quality relationship they've always dreamt of. Each week, I will be sharing the tools and tips I've learned that have rooted my success as a matchmaker with other leaders around the world.
Hello, loves. Welcome back. I am so excited to be here. I say that all the time, but to talk about all the topics that we get addressed on a regular basis as matchmakers and relationship coaches, because it's more than just matchmaking. We are here to help coach, guide, and direct people on the right journey on what sets them up. Literally, I say tee them up for success in love and relationships. And the topic we're going to talk about today, which is literally the root to all things that blossom in a healthy relationship.
Yeah.
So the topic we're going to talk about today is, are you truly healed?
And this may or may not be a sensitive subject for some. So there's the warning. But
if it is sensitive, then you probably are not healed.
Yeah. And that's exactly why
we're talking about this today.
Is because so many people do jump into relationships and they're not healed. And then they wonder why maybe it was the right person, everything was great. And it's, don't truly understand why that wasn't there forever. But a lot of the reasons why that happens is, of course, we always say, timing is everything as well. But when it comes to being healed, that there's just no chance you're going to be able to have a successful, wonderful relationship or marriage if you are not healed from what is in your past.
It's so true. And because so many of us either have a past, which we've never dived into from our childhood, or something that traumatically maybe happened to us that we didn't even understand or know, we often bring those into a new relationship. And we're all creatures of habit. So we all love routine, but the problem is we typically, and it's the whole reason I got infatuated with this industry, and as well as just the study of research and relationships and why they don't work and why they do, is because the reality of it is we continuously attract the same type.
Yeah.
And not only that, but also is the healing portion of it is we typically then bring that same skill set into the next relationship when we've never really spent the time to truly heal and forgive somebody for what they've done.
Yeah, and you have to, and it's so hard. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying, that people should be okay with someone that's truly hurt them or anything along those lines. But if you are not at peace with that person that's either hurt you, oh, sorry, we have another little visitor like the last few weeks and it just cracks us up. But I mean the dog, not not any exciting visitors. But when you are talking about being healed, I don't expect anyone to, be best friends with someone that's broken their heart or maybe being unfaithful or anything along those lines, because that's you can't. I mean, a lot of people cannot get past that. But what you need to be able to do is be mature enough, healed enough within to be able to have a mutual ground with either that last person. And we find a lot of the time that, when people go out on dates, they'll be like, oh, my ex is this. They have this. And when you talk negatively about an ex or about someone, it just shows that you're not healed. And so you have to have some mutual ground, I guess, and heal within to make sure that you truly are being able to date and move on from maybe, past relationships when you know that you can talk about it.
Right. And I think there's so many times that when this is obviously, kind of said earlier, sometimes a sensitive subject for some, but I think so many people are out there just dating and don't even know that there's anything they need to heal from. And so, it's always like that famous thing from Jerry Maguire, like, you complete me, which is so dead wrong, because you don't want anybody, you need to be complete yourself, which everybody knows that. But then a lot of people, they know that, but they don't know how to obtain that. And so the biggest thing that when we're interviewing individuals, I love it nothing more when somebody comes from a divorce or they come from a long-term 7-year, 8-year, whatever relationship, even a 5-year relationship, and they've spent the last year really focusing on themselves, their career, maybe their kids, their family, in whatever, instead of jumping into the next relationship, because you really don't know what you've needed to heal from that past relationship without guidance from either a matchmaker, a relationship coach, a psychologist, a life coach, whatever it is. And so it's so important that not only do you know who you are, you now know what you need and want to attract in a relationship because you've spent that time healing to actually be independent enough to attract that marriage-minded person you've always desired. But you have to pause yourself so that you can actually move into a new relationship, because as we talked about earlier, we're a creature of habit. So we keep doing the same practice. It's like the definition of insanity. You're going to continue to get the same result. And so part of healing, which I have found from, being in toxic, relationships in the past, some good, some not, all of those things, is forgiveness is one of the biggest parts of healing. So if you come from a relationship where you were like emotionally, God forbid, physically abused, or some type of mental behavioral issue challenge in the past, sometimes it's so hard to forgive that person.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget, it took me forever. And I finally realized, like, Lord, this person is consuming me from moving on because I haven't truly forgiven to be able to be healed. And there's definitely a difference from being healed and a difference from saying, oh, I forgive, or, but I've never forgotten. And I'm like, that's not healing. That is not full healing. When you can actually sit there and pray for somebody that has wrongfully done something for you.
Yeah.
It is so self-healing and so rewarding, not only because now you're letting that go, but you're also moving forward to be able to move into a healthy relationship.
Yeah. And I think that's what you also have to remind yourself is that, like, I know in everyone's situation, they're in such a hole of maybe hurt that someone's done something to them that they, I mean, there's just so many things that people can do, that maybe don't do them wrong, but that they have to let go of it. They have to remember that they're happier. They're going to be happier without that person in their life. Like, although it's really hard to see when you're in the moment, when you're in the time, but say you've been hurt mentally, physically, or someone's been unfaithful, whatever it may be, is you have to think, okay, but I'm better off without that. And as simple as it sounds, you truly are going to be, because even if it turned back around and you guys could figure things out, it's never going to be the same. So you're truly going to be happier without that person. So it starts with accepting that you are going to be happier. And then also,
or even if you stay in a relationship and you guys made it through the test of, God forbid, cheating or some challenge of some sort, or health issues or financial issues or whatever, the reality of it is like, in order to actually be healed, to move forward, to trust again, you literally have to forgive that person.
Yeah. Exactly. And I think that, everyone here on this podcast is very, very aware that we are, definitely think that therapists are a great thing. We're very pro, make sure you get your mental health in check, but go to a therapist and, go get that help before you even start getting back out there again. You have to be truly healed. And if you're going to continue to keep bringing up your ex, your past relationships, the things that have gone wrong, you're never truly going to be successful in that next relationship. And as hard as that may sound, or how hard as it may be to hear, you're never going to have a successful relationship when you're still so devoted on your last.
Yes. And I always say, your past relationships should not define you. They are not your identity. They should refine you. And so by what I mean by that is that your past relationship should come up as a positive in who they made you to be today, instead of, like Connie sharing, is the negative of what they did to you and how awful. So it's like you're coming across as a victim, which does not make it sound like you are healed. So it's so important that, like, part of obviously being truly healed and ready to move on is that is like a testimony. Like, I will share, I was talking to another matchmaker we're collaborating with globally right now. And she asked me all about my journey and why I do what I do today. And truly, if I didn't go through that, to use it now as a testimony to help hundreds and thousands of people on a regular basis, I wouldn't have that passion to be successful for other people and in relationships today. So you either have a choice to kind of like use that as self-sabotaging or woe is me, but then you're never going to have that healthy relationship you're looking for, or you use that as an opportunity to create a new reality of a healthy love that you now can grow and attract.
Yeah, and it's not easy to put that work in, but you have to make sure you do it to find that peace. Oh, oh my goodness, I like took my own breath away. But to find that own peace and make sure that you are successful in that next relationship. And there's never enough work. You may still be happy in your next relationship and still need to have those reminders of how far you've come in your healing journey, and that is okay. But you need to make sure that you are truly healed from your past and continuously working on it.
Yes. And I think another measurement or a test to just apply to your life, if you're listening to this and then you're like, you've clicked on this podcast because you're like, I want to know if I'm truly healed or not, is, are you self-sufficient, independent enough? Are you, I would say, financially sexy, so you don't need anybody else, and you literally are living your best life instead of needing or wanting somebody in your life?
Yeah.
And I think there's a massive difference than our clients that come to us, obviously they are wanting a successful relationship, but when we ask that question on a scale of 1 to 10, how ready truly, if we were to introduce you to that person tomorrow, we're not saying you have to walk down the aisle tomorrow, but how truly ready are you? It's so important. And so many times people will have that, like, I'm ready. And then they're like, oh my gosh, stage fright. And then we're like, are you really ready? And they're like, and then we have to talk them back into the reminder of like, that's what you signed up for. When anybody goes into the dating world, I feel like we just did a podcast on dating with exclusivity and intention in mind, that like, if you don't think to yourself, I am ready, I am healed. If the relationship begins, I can advance tomorrow. If it doesn't, I'm just as fine. Instead of being needy, which are typically the people that are not healed from past relationships.
Yes. And I hear this.
Just trying to hit the void.
Yeah. Hear this over and over and over. And I was just talking about this to Renee. I absolutely adore my husband, love him, and I want to be together forever. But you should not need that person. You should be able to, even any of our couples listen to this, you should be able to say they go on a trip, say they have to go out of town for work, say something comes up, or I don't know, if you have children, one of you have to be, away with the child for a few nights. You should be able to want them to be home and with you, but you shouldn't have to need them. That you should still be able to have that self-sufficient. And it goes, before you get into that relationship, you want your forever, but you shouldn't need your forever,
Right.
And it's that, there's a healthy balance of that,
Totally
like you still have to have that self-independence and that work that you can put in on yourself. And that's when we go into the whole healing journey. You still have to work on yourself. You still have to be healed on yourself to be able to really want that other person. Otherwise, like Renee said, you become that needy person. And I don't love that word, but you become that person.
No, it's true. And then you get into the relationship, and then all of a sudden, sometimes people go back into that needy way of being. And the whole reason you attracted the person that you did is because you displayed how you were independent. You had all of these like attributes about you. You were completely healed. You were ready. And then sometimes the problem is, if we didn't truly heal those things, they'll come back up. You'll go back into your old routine. And so it's just part of being emotionally, physically, mentally prepared and ready, is to put yourself through the preparation process that you need to be successful in a relationship.
Yeah, and use all the tools that are available. Like we said, we are huge on, working with a therapist, work with a matchmaker.
And reading relationship, marriage-minded books, I always say, is a great tool.
We always say that. Get ready in all the right ways. Don't just hesitate. Or if you are not healed, be okay with not being healed and know that you can work on it, not just being like, no one needs a self-pity party. I know it's hard, but you need to be like, okay, I'm not healed, so I'm going to put the work in.
Right, exactly. And obviously this podcast is, are you truly healed? It also just means, are you truly ready?
Mm-hmm.
And so, obviously a lot of our clients come to us, or just people in general, and they realize through the journey how much they need some of the coaching in today's scary world of actually putting themselves back out there, putting themselves out there for the first time in dating. And what are the rules? What do they do? How do they not? Every person is different. Our job is to figure out who somebody is truly for who they are, and then help them through that journey of finding the right person from whatever didn't work out in their past. So we hope you have found this helpful and beneficial. We always love getting on here and being able to talk and chat with each one of you. And we can't wait for our next subject of things that are so important to you and others that listen to us. And we love and hope you have a blessed day.
Bye.
It's been another great talk on this episode of One True Talks by Renee Rochelle. I look forward to our next chat. Please write in your questions and comments so I can be sure to talk about whatever it is you want to discuss in our next upcoming episode. Lots of love. God bless. XOXO.